Chapter 2, Section 5, so can we turn to that part of the book? Chapter 2, Section 5. And that's on page 102. Solving proportions, guys. Can everybody see? Can everybody see the back, right? So a couple of the learning objectives is within this lesson, you're going to be able to apply algebraic techniques to solve rate problems, work problems, and percent mixture problems. Anybody want to tell me what they think the word ratio means? Raise your hand. Ratio, what's that? Part of the percentage, okay. How about proportion? Anybody else? Proportion? Has anybody heard the word proportion before? Raise your hand. Okay. How about cross product? What's a cross product? Anybody?
Cross multiply.
When you cross multiply, very good. And how about percent? So we're going to do a quick write, real quick. Write on the first sentence, right on top of your paper. I want you to tell me, where have you used the word percent before? It doesn't have to be in class. It can be somewhere outside of school. Where have you seen the word percent before? Write it down. One quick sentence. Raise your hand. Give me a thumbs up when you're done. Just one quick sentence. Are we good? Are we good?
Yeah.
All right. So what is ratio? Ratio is a comparison of two quantities. Quantity 1, quantity 2, right? I'm comparing. This hand is my right hand. To you guys, it's my right hand, right? It's right side. This hand is my left hand. But are they similar? Are they the same? I'm comparing, right? I gotta see. I have 5 fingers on this side, 5 fingers on this side. What if I would have 4 on this side, right? Now I'm comparing. They're different now, right? Okay, that's what it is. Comparison. And as you can see on there, the A and the colon B, it's how we can notify ratio. There's also, we can also do the comparison in the form of a fraction, but there has to be one condition on that fraction where there has to be, that condition has to be met in order for that to be a fraction ratio. What is the condition? Intent, it's on the slide. It can't equal 0, why?
Because you can't compare 0.
No. What happens when we divide something by 0? Can we divide something by 0? No, right? And isn't a fraction a part of the division principle, right? Yeah, so anything divided by 0 is no solution. Very good. So that's the only thing. You can come do a ratio with a fraction, but the bottom can never be 0. That's something to remember. Write it down, guys. Now let's compare something about ratios.
You know who, right?
How many quarters are in a dollar?
4.
Right? Okay, well, you really can see that. 4 quarters in a dollar. How do we write that? How can we write 4 quarters to a dollar? Using if we have this, and if we have this, how can we write 4 quarters to a dollar? 4. So it can be, if A is equal to my quarters and B is equal to my dollar, how can I write it?
4 over 1.
4 over 1, very good. Or?
1 over 4. Right?
Also 1 over 4. You just have to make sure you put it to the corresponding proportion when we go to the next one. Has to be matching top and bottom. Or we can do this one right here, right? 4 quarters to a dollar, right? Hold on. Can we see it? Can we see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Very good. So, next, let's do a little example. Now we're going to do a little example on how many quarters are found in $5 using the ratio of A over B, right? We said A's are quarters, right? and B is our dollars, right? So now we're gonna actually compare it and put an equal sign, right? So we're gonna have A over B is equal to something else over something else, right? Don't worry about the letters, we're gonna figure that out now. Okay, so how many quarters do we say we're gonna be in a dollar?
4.
So my A is equal to?
4.
All right, how about my B? That's my dollar. How many dollars are in 4 quarters?
1.
1, all right. And we want our unknown. We said, how many quarters are in $5, right?
20.
Yes, but we're gonna see how we're doing that calculation. So, we have C and D. We know that C, we don't know what C is, right? Because that's what we're gonna find out how many quarters we have. And D is equal to $5, right? Right?
Yeah.
You get that, right? Okay. Now notice, my quarters are on top, my dollars are in the bottom. If you were to do this and you were to put the 5 on the top and the C on the bottom, it don't work like that. You see how my sides have to be corresponding, right? The top is the quarters and the bottom is my dollars, right? Okay, so now cross multiply. Who said it was, you cross it, right? How do we do it? Cross, right? Cross. So 5 times 4?
20.
And C times 1? C. 20 equals C. That means 20 quarters. 20 quarters equals, is found in $5, right? Yes. All right. So now we're looking at proportion now. Proportion is just exactly what we just did. This A over B is equal to C over D. This is proportion, a comparison of 2 ratios. Proportion, a comparison of 2 ratios. Proportion, a comparison of 2 ratios. Who likes good old fractions? Alright, ready? Alright, let's see if cross multiplication is really cross multiplication, right?
Wait, what did you say to write down? Proportion?
Proportion is the comparison of 2 ratios. But with technical difficulties, we're working with what we have here, right? Okay, so remember when we said cross multiply, if you have to write those arrows to show and to make sure you know what you're going to cross multiply, the top with the bottom on the left and the bottom on the left to the top of the right, you write these little arrows so you know what you're going to multiply. So what are we going to multiply first? 1 time? Alright, and then we put the equal sign and then it's going to be what else? 50 times 2. Alright, and we don't know if this is true or not, so we have that question mark there, right? What's 1 times 100?
100.
And what's 50 times 2? 100, right? So it checks out, right? So cross multiplication does work. So we can see that AD equals BC, right? Cross multiply these, right? Right here. AD equals BC. What's our proof? Right here, right? Alright, so let's look at an equation now where we actually incorporate an unknown. Ready? Let's say 5/9 equals 3 over W. How are we going to solve for this? What's our word? Cross multiply, right? Alright, so I'm going to write down there. Cross multiplication. What's my next step? Multiply which one? 5W equals 9 times 3, okay. So I'm going to simplify some terms. 5W equals 27. What do I have to do to solve for my W?
5 on both sides.
Divide by
5.
on both sides, right? Whatever we do to one side, we do to the other, right? Math is always equal. W equals 27 over 5. Can this please simplify some more?
No.
All right. What do I do to my answer when it's final? Square it, box it in, right? That's how I know that my answer is complete. Okay, so now this is how we do proportion. Now let's look into something else. We're going to look into discounts. Remember, on our first quick write, we wrote where have you seen percentage before? Anywhere outside the classroom, right? Where have we seen percentage? Walmart. Okay, so what do you associate
On my
percentage
iPhone.
with? Sales. Okay. So let's go ahead and see. Raise your hand if you like 2013 Jordans just came out, right? Let's pretend,
Haven't
okay?
even come out.
I'm going to the store, and this is my scenario. So ready? Right, scenario on your paper.
I saw that.
Right there. Scenario. I got my Jordans. Right? And my original price they're at $125.85 for kid size, because I have a small foot. You know, I can still fit in my boy size. Yeah. All right, here we go. But there's a sale at the store, right? My sale is 30%. How much are my shoes gonna be if the sale is 30%? How do we do that? 30% off?
Goodbye.
Okay? So, think about that scenario. We're gonna go back to doing some fractions. Let's look at 30%. How can we write 30% as a fraction? 30 over what? So what does that say about the definition of a percentage? What can we say is the definition of a percentage? So we can say that percentage is a ratio compared to 100, right? Or a number compared to 100, right? So percentage is a ratio compared to the number 100. Percentage is a ratio compared to the number 100.
Almost there.
So we already know that percentage here, the 30% can be written as 30 over 100, right? So now we're going to use our cross multiplication to get that, to find out the price of my sale, of my Jordans after the discount, right? So I know that my original price is $125.85, right? I don't know what the discounted price is, right? I don't. All I know is that there's a 30% sale going on that. So if I have 100 here, what's going to be my top number? 30 or 100? 30. Why? Because I'm trying to say, where is my what's going to be my original price? So this is our new one right here, right? This is our multiplication here. We have 100x is equal to 377.55, right? What do we do to get to solve for x? By?
100.
Okay. What we do to one side, we do to the
Other.
x is equal to? You know the trick when you're multiplying by 100 or any multiple of 10? You count the zeros, right? And all I'm doing is I'm moving it forward. Right? So it's right here. It's right here. My decimal is right here. So I'm going to move it twice, right? When I divide by 100, I move my decimal to the side two spaces. The number of zeros in the 100, how many zeros are in 100? That's how many times I move my decimal to the left, right? When I'm dividing. If I'm multiplying, I move my decimal to the okay. So my answer, 37.75, right? What does 37.75 mean? Is that what my shoes are gonna cost? No, that's the discount, right? This is the discount right here. This is the discount right here, right? Okay, so how do we go to our original price? Let's go back to our original price. We know our original price is $125.85. We know our discount is $37.75. So what's going to be our sale price? What's our sale price? How do we do that? How do we find it, right? What do we take first? What's 125.85? Our original price, right? So 125.85, and what do? Minus what, the discount? 37.75, what is that? So, simple math, guys, no using of calculators. Here we go, 125.85. Be neat about it so we can make sure our numbers are aligned perfectly. So 5 minus 5?
0.
8 minus 7?
1.
5 minus 7? Can you do it and knock over to my neighbor, bring it over? 15 minus 7? Bring it over. 11 minus 3? So what's our answer? That's pretty good for some Jordans, right? Alright, cool. Let's try some other ones. Now we're gonna see a different perspective of this 30%. What if I say, what is 30% of 125? What is 30% of 125? How do we set that up? We have to set up an equation, right? So we know that what equivalates what? An x, right? We don't know what, we don't know it, right? Our unknown is gonna be that variable, right? Okay, so we know it's 30% and we know it's 125, right? What do we have to do? We have to set up a proportion, right? Okay, so we're gonna do, we know 30%, how do we write 30%? 30 over 100. And do we know something else? The 125, right? That's our whole number, right? Okay. What's missing? The x. Where do we put it? On the top. Now what do we do? Cross multiply, right? Cross multiply. So what do we have? First is 30 times 125 equals what is that? What are we multiplying the second side? 100x. Very good. 3750 is equal to 100x, right? Well, how do we solve for x? Divide by? Same thing as the last time, right? We have how many zeros in that 100? 2. So, my x is equal to, look at here, 3750, right? My decimal's over here because there's no other decimal. And I'm dividing by 100, there's 2 zeros, what do? 1, 2. 3750. That's my answer. What is 30% of 125? 3750. Ready? What is 30% of 125? I want you to write me a sentence saying how you can include this as a sale question, as a percentage and sale question.
10.
All right, thumbs up when you're done. All right, so now we're gonna look on the Casey, guys. There's different ways they can ask you percentage questions. They can say 4 is what percent of 8, or 50% of 8 is what? Or they can give you a sales question. You bought shoes for $100. Original price was $150. What was the sales discount? What was the percentage discount? There's different ways they can ask you the questions of percentage. It's the way you set up the problem and going about the problem that makes it easier. So we're gonna do one more. So here's our given. Ready? Given. Our original price for our Jordan, $90. We bought them, the sale price, we bought them for $60. What was the sale percentage? So now, what's our unknown? The percentage. So remember, we have original price, we have the sale price, we know we have a cross multiplication problem, right? We know one of them has an 100, right? That's our percentage. But do we know our percentage? No, so what's gonna be on top of that percentage fraction? An X, all right. Do we know our sale price? But when we have it here, is it our sale price or is it our discount that's on top? So how do we determine our discount? We take the original price and we do what to the sales price? We subtract it, right? From sales, right? So what's our original price? What's our sale price?
60.
And what's 90 minus 60?
30.
That means our discount is 30, right?
Yeah.
And what goes on the bottom?
30. No.
Our 100's over here. 90, right? Our original price. We're comparing to see what the discount and the original price, what the percentage is, right? Okay? You see it now? Alright. So here we go, ready? What are we doing?
Cross multiply. No. Oh yeah. Cross multiply.
Alright, so what's our next step? What's our first one? When we cross multiply, it's 90x equals
What's that say?
100 times 30, which is 3,000, right? Right, you take 30, and since we're multiplying by 100, how many zeros are in 100? So we move it, since it's multiplication, we move it to the 1, 2. You see that? Okay? Now we're solving for x, what do we have to do? Very good, because what we do to one side, we do to the
Other.
So what's 3,000 divided by 90? Anybody? Anybody?
That's hard.
3,000 divided by 90 is? How many times does 90 fit into 30? Not many, right?
No.
How about 300?
4 times. 3.
9 times 2?
4 times. 4 times.
18, right? 9 times 3? 27, right? So 90 times 3 is 270, right? So here we go. $30, right? $90 times 3, 270, right? And then we have, again, 300, right? We're bringing it down. Same thing, right? 3. Bring it to 70, and we bring it down. And it's gonna keep on going, so it's gonna be 33, 33, right? All the way?
Yeah.
So x is equal to?
30. No wait.
And that is our
33.
percentage discount, right? So 33.3%. Is that my final answer?
Yes.
How do I know?
Because you already.
Because I boxed it in, right?
Oh yeah.
All right, very good. All right, guys. So a couple of exercises that are going to take place now. Here we go. With your neighbor to the right of you, we're going to answer a couple of formulas. Ready? Ready?
We copy that down?
Yes, sir. These two problems. 40% of 85, right? 85 is the number. We only want 40%. What is 45% of that, right? So how can we translate that 40% into a fraction? 40 over 100. Okay, 40 over 100, right? And then x over 85. All right. So what's gonna be our cross multiplication, right?
Yes.
What is it? 100x equals 3,400, right? What do I do to my x? Because what we do to one side, we do to the other. Here we go. So x is equal to 34. So if you got something else like 51, that means you probably switch these two, right?
I forgot to give like the.
Yes.
Sorry, let me check.
Okay, so if you got it wrong, quick sentence on how to do it right the next time. What you forgot and how you're gonna fix it the next time.
Make sure you do it right.
Right? And I need to know like an explanation. Next time I'm gonna make sure my 85 is at the bottom, or next time I'm gonna make sure my division is correct. Whatever helps you to remember how you're gonna make it better the next time. Alright, here we go. 35 is what percent of 70? How do we do this one, right? Do we know the percentage?
No.
No, automatically when we don't know the percentage, what's gonna be our fraction? X over 100, right? And we know what's gonna be, what's our whole number? What's the number on the bottom is gonna be the?
The percent.
Which one? I have two numbers, 35 and 70. Which one goes on the bottom? 70, okay? Because that's what I'm comparing, right? I'm comparing the whole number to the whole number. So my whole number is 100, and then which one's my bottom whole number? 70, right? So what goes on the top? 35. Very good. So what do we do? Okay. So what is the next step? So what is it? What's that? Right? What do I do to my x to solve for it? Very good. X is equal to 50, right? What does that mean? What does x mean? So going back to my question, 35 is 50% of 70. Right?
Yes.
So now we have three different ways we solve percentages, right? We always using the proportion method, and we're using our cross multiplication, right? If we don't know the percentage, what's it gonna be our fraction? X over 100. If we know the percentage, say like 30%, what's gonna be our fraction?
30 over 100.
Okay, so three different ways of solving percentage problems, right? On a test, you can be asked, find 40% of this number, or this number is what percent of this number, or I went to the store and I bought 10 oranges at 10 bucks. It was discounted. Original price was 20 bucks. What was my discount? Right? There's different ways they can ask you the question. You have to look for cues in the problem to see how you're going to set it up and how you're going to solve for it. So, when I don't know my percentage, what's the fraction I always put on my paper? X over what? 100. If I already know the percentage, like say my problem tells me I have a 29% discount. What's going to be my fraction? 29 over 100. And which one goes on top and on the bottom? The bottom on the right side here, like we did here, my bottom number is always going to be what? My original price, or the number that's the whole number, right? Whatever the number is being asked from. You're comparing from this number, that's the bottom number. Like here, Find 40% of 85. Of 85. 85 is the whole number. That's when you put it on the bottom. Okay? So, a quick write we have now. And let's see if I can put this on the screen. Can we all see that? See the prompt? So, write as many examples as you can think of ratio. Anything. From what we've just learned today, give me examples of ratio. We've been doing ratio all this lesson today. So that's an example, right? We already did the second one, don't worry about that one. But this is our exit ticket, ready? What did you learn today? Give me a sentence of that. Do you feel like you learned it better? Do you feel like you still need help in it? What is something that you need to improve? What is something that you need to improve on? Make sure you include some of the concepts we learned today. Maybe I'm going to remember to write my little arrows when I do my cross multiplication, so I make sure I cross multiply the correct terms.
Can't see it.
Or maybe I'm going to be more careful about what I put on top and what I put on bottom, right? Yeah. Setting up the problem. Looking for cues within the problem. Today I learned that when I have an unknown percentage, that is reflected as what type of fraction. And then what I think I'm gonna be better working at my division or my multiplication. Or today I learned that if I divide by 100, I move my decimal 2 places this way. Number tricks, right? Number tricks. So if any of you guys see any Jordans on sale, just be like, I know how to calculate that, right? Thank you guys, and remember, let me make this fun. What does it say there?
Math is fun.
It is, I promise.